Good morning, children. Um, some of you had posted some doubts through your WhatsApp regarding some points on gluconeogenesis. So I thought that maybe I could help you overcome this problem by just showing a few slides and explaining in a nutshell कि gluconeogenesis क्या है, क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्या रेगुलेटरी मैकेनिज्म है फ्रक्टोज 6 और फ्रक्टोज 1,6 बिसफॉस्फेट का. So in this doubt clearing class, let us start. You have to remember that gluconeogenesis is not a reversal of glycolysis. Basic क्या है कि ग्लूकोज टू पायरुवेट हम जानते हैं ये ग्लाइकोलिसिस है. ये तब होता है जब बॉडी में ग्लूकोज का मात्रा ज्यादा है. And when does this happen? It happens mostly after a good meal. लेकिन जब हम दो खाना के बीच में हैं या एग्जाम का डेट बढ़ाने के लिए हम भूख हड़ताल पे हैं या पापा ने आपको जो गाड़ी चाहिए था 2 पहिए वाली वो आपको नहीं मिला, तो क्या होता है? The body needs to survive. There are many parts of the body which exclusively live on glucose for its metabolic needs. So what happens is that the body has adapted by using the same enzymes of glycolysis in reverse, that is ulta direction, except at 3 places जिसमें रिएक्शन यूनिडायरेक्शनल है. और वो जो यूनिडायरेक्शनल रिएक्शन है उसको सकमवर्ट करने के लिए, बाईपास करने के लिए 4 इंपॉर्टेंट एंजाइम्स है जो कि ग्लूकोनियोजेनेसिस का इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. ये आपको याद रखना है. तो आपके सामने एक डायग्राम है जो कि ग्लाइकोलिसिस का, राइट फ्रॉम ग्लूकोज you go down till you form pyruvate. So this is glycolysis. Now what happens is that you will see that from glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, it is you are using an hexokinase, that is you are attaching a phosphate group by using ATP. So this reaction becomes unidirectional. The same way fructose 6 to fructose 1,6, you are using a molecule of ATP by enzyme phosphofructokinase. Here what is happening is phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate. This is substrate level phosphorylation. So you form a molecule of ATP. Now these 3 steps are the steps that gluconeogenesis has to circumvent. So gluconeogenesis is what? Pyruvate to glucose, technically, depending on what substrate you are using for gluconeogenesis. So for example, pyruvate. Now we all know that there is no pyruvate transporter in the mitochondrial wall. So what happens is that this pyruvate, using pyruvate carboxylase enzyme, this is the first enzyme of gluconeogenesis, apart from all the other enzymes of glycolysis. This pyruvate carboxylase, using a molecule of carbon dioxide and ATP, it forms oxaloacetate. This oxaloacetate In a reversal reaction in TCA cycle, using malate dehydrogenase, it forms a molecule of malate. Now, malate has a shuttle through the mitochondria wall. It enters the cytosol, and the same thing happens again. Malate dehydrogenase in reverse forms oxaloacetate. Now, oxaloacetate is acted upon by the enzyme phosphoenol pyruvate carboxykinase. Here, the high energy molecule that is used is GTP. Now, GTP is used here, and this is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. So this step has been circumvented by two important gluconeogenic enzymes. Then we go reversal of glycolysis till we come to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, using the enzyme fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase, it converts it to fructose 6 by removing a phosphate group. Then this fructose freely converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Again, there is a release of phosphate group by the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase, and you get free glucose. Now, this glucose 6-phosphatase, you have to remember, is only found in the muscles. It is not found in the liver. So in the liver, the end product of gluconeogenesis is glucose 6-phosphate. It is beneficial to the body because whatever it is required, if this glucose again will have to be phosphorylated to be used in any other metabolic pathways. So this is not a reversal. So if you get a question, enumerate the enzymes of gluconeogenesis, you have to remember, you have to tell about this, plus the enzyme here, the enzyme here, the enzyme here, the enzyme here, and the enzyme here, plus the enzyme here, plus 1, 2. So all these are part of the gluconeogenic pathways. So once again, it is not a simple reversal of glycolysis. It has most of the steps and reactions of glycolysis, and the energy barriers are at pyruvate, phosphoenol pyruvate, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and fructose 6, and glucose 6-phosphate, and glucose. Let's go back again. So you see this picture again closely, so you will understand the important steps. And please do remember these 4 important enzymes of gluconeogenesis. All right. Now, this pathway is glycolysis, and this pathway is gluconeogenesis. And you all see these wavy lines. So, for example, phosphofructokinase, it acts on fructose 6 and adds a molecule of high power and phosphate group using ATP, so to form fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Now this phosphofructokinase is inhibited by ATP. It is stimulated by fructose 6. It is stimulated by AMP. That means that the breakdown of glucose is stimulated by the presence of AMP, fructose 2,6-bisphosphate, fructose 6-phosphate. Here you will see that fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase, which converts fructose 1,6-bisphosphate to fructose 6 to go on to form glucose, this is inhibited by glucagon, and this inhibits this enzyme through the formation of fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. So the basic concept is that you have to remember that the ultimate regulatory mechanism for any metabolic process is the energy need of the body. Therefore, if there is ample food in the body, so what do you think will be formed? There will be more citrate, there will be more fructose 6 phosphate, because glucose is being converted to pyruvate to form energy. So you will see that, sorry. What happens is that AMP is formed. When is it formed? When ATP is utilized. Now ATP is usually utilized and ADP is formed. But if AMP is there, that means that all the energy need of the body is extreme. So AMP stimulates phosphofructokinase to break down glucose to pyruvate and energy. The same way, ATP, if ATP is in large amount, then it tells the body do not break glucose further, so glycolysis stops. In the reverse, if AMP is present, then it tells the gluconeogenic mechanism, please quieten down. I need ATP. So all these things depend on the state of the body. If there is need for ATP, so the breakdown will be stimulated. If there is no need for ATP, then glucose is formed in the body from gluconeogenic mechanisms. So these are the steps that we were talking about, and these are the factors which stimulate or depress the different steps of gluconeogenesis and glycolysis. So here you will see that fructose 2,6 bisphosphate and fructose 2,6 bisphosphate, both of them in one gluconeogenesis inhibits gluconeogenesis. It inhibits the enzyme fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase, while fructose 2,6 bisphosphatase here stimulates the enzyme phosphofructokinase 1 to break down glucose to pyruvate. So fructose 6 and fructose 1,6 is tightly controlled. Adenosine monophosphate, it stimulates the PFK1 enzyme. Why it is PFK1? I will tell you in the next slide. Now, ATP and citrate, they inhibit PFK1. ATP and citrate means that the energy quotient of the cell, जो सेल के अंदर जो एनर्जी है बहुत ज्यादा है, citrate is the building block. So if these are present, ये PFK1 को इनहिबिट करेगा. अगर AMP है तो बॉडी को एनर्जी और चाहिए, तो PFK1 को स्टिमुलेट करेगा. So fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase enzyme inhibited and stimulated. So what happens is that the gluconeogenesis and glycolysis, they are reciprocally switched on and switched off. So PFK, phosphofructokinase and fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase, they are both controlled reciprocally. ये फेरा फेरी फ्रक्टोज 2,6 बिस्फॉस्फेटेज के साथ. तो ये जो फ्रक्टोज 2,6 बिस्फॉस्फेटेज है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रेगुलेटर है ग्लूकोनियोजेनिक पाथवे का. अब ये फ्रक्टोज 2,6 बिस्फॉस्फेटेज कैसे काम करता है? तो सबसे पहले you have to understand that how the formation of fructose 2,6-bisphosphate is from fructose 6-phosphate using the enzyme phosphofructokinase 2. So this forms fructose 6 from fructose 2,6 from fructose 6-phosphate. All right. Now, somebody has written they are unable to understand what type of a bifunctional enzyme it is. So what happens is that fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase is an enzyme which breaks up the phosphate group. Okay. So what does it do? It removes a phosphate. Phosphofructokinase, it adds a phosphate because it's a kinase enzyme. Now, these two enzymes, phosphor 2,6-bisphosphatase and PFK2, they both are reciprocal enzymes for 6-phosphate to fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. So what the body has done is, instead of having two individual polypeptide chains of enzymes, it has made one single polypeptide chain. On one side is the fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase part, and on the other side is the PFK2 part. Now, there is a serine group on this polypeptide chain. So what happens is that if that serine group is phosphorylated, then the fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase part becomes active and PFK2 becomes inactive. If you remove that phosphate group, PFK2 becomes active and fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase becomes inactive. So let us look at this. So what is happening is that in the presence of glucose and fructose 6-phosphate, this enzyme, it forms fructose 2,6-bisphosphate. This stimulates phosphofructokinase 1 to convert fructose 6 to fructose 1,6 and then on to pyruvate. But if there is a lack of glucose, what happens? If there is a lack of glucose, then moment starvation sets in, the body releases glucagon. Now glucagon goes to the cell surface, it attaches itself to the glucagon receptor. This receptor activates the formation of cyclic AMP. This cyclic AMP activates the enzyme cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. What does it do? It takes a molecule of ATP and this inactive 2,6-bisphosphatase, it adds a molecule of phosphate. So what happens is that the fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase part of the common enzyme becomes active and PFK2 becomes inactive. So what happens is that this fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase is converted to fructose 6-phosphate, and this fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase, the inhibition of fructose 2,6-bisphosphatase on fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase, this is removed and gluconeogenesis takes place to form glucose because the body was starving. So this is a little confusing, but if you look at it properly, you will understand why these parts are there, how they stimulate, and how this bifunctional enzyme, just by being phosphorylated and dephosphorylated, is able to control the conversion of fructose 6 to fructose 2,6 and then on to these two important enzymes of glycolysis and gluconeogenesis. So I've just formed a flow chart. So in the well-fed state, you have this bifunctional enzyme PFK2 and bisphosphatase 2. What happens? It loses its attached phosphate group, and this activates the PFK2 and inhibits the bisphosphatase 2 enzyme. This increases the level of fructose 2,6 bisphosphate. This ultimately leads to the increased in rate of glycolysis. So this is a flow chart that you will understand, and this is the mechanism of how glucagon forms cyclic AMP and the different reactions takes place. What happens during the phase of starvation? So it stimulates glucagon, the cyclic AMP cascade is released. There is phosphorylation of the bifunctional enzyme by protein kinase A. This activates the bisphosphatase 2, inhibits PFK2, and then what happens is that there is decreased level of 2,6 bisphosphatase, there is a decreased rate of glycolysis, and there is also an increased rate of gluconeogenesis. So I hope you are able to understand the full function and what is this bifunctional enzyme and how it activates and deactivates the whole